WeGoInnovate.org. You can vote as many times as you want. It's free. GH for STEM Juniors Challenge. Bayan Nasser Kuli is a student at Dodowa Presby Basic B, which is located in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. Bayan Nasser will build an ultrasonic white cane for the blind. He does this using a walking stick, a net of a keyboard, support for a walking aid, a 9V battery, an Arduino board, an ultrasonic sensor, and a buzzer. Now let's see what this junior scientist can do. A white cane is a walking aid used by the blind or visually impaired. And an ultrasound is a type of sound that bats use to let them know what is around them, even though they can't see it.
I'm going to connect the female part of the jumper wire to the ground. The ground on the ultrasonic sensor is the negative port. I'll connect the male part to the ground on the Arduino port.
The various ports of the Arduino are labeled, so it is easy to identify the ports needed for each pin.
I'll connect the female part of the second jumper wire to the UCC port. That's the amount of power that should go to the ultrasonic sensor. So I'll connect the male part to 5 volts. And I'll take the third jumper wire, connect it to the echo. The echo releases the sonar beams to be reflected by the obstacle and to be received by the trigger. Connecting the male part to positive port 6. Then I'll connect the fourth jumper wire, the female part, to the trigger. The trigger receives the sonar beam that is bounced off the obstacle. I'll connect this part to positive port 5. Then the buzzer also has its male part of the jumper wire. So I'll connect one of them to ground. I'll connect the other side to the positive 8 port. So I'm going to connect the battery to check whether everything is set. So when we take it away from the obstacle, the buzzer goes off. I'm using the sellotape to hold the paper in place.
Be sure to do this tightly so your device does not fall out of the holder.
So this is the blind man walking aid, and that's how it works.
With this experiment, it can help the visually impaired to be able to walk without any obstructions on our ways or when entering any public facility. My name is Bismarck Apete Tete, teacher in Dodowa Presby Basic B.
By combining ultrasound and a white cane, anyone who is visually impaired will be able to know more about their surroundings. The Arduino is a flexible device which can be used for many things and comes with different kinds of sensors, including an ultrasound detector, as used here, light sensors, and temperature sensors. So you can build a device which will alert you with the sound of a buzzer whenever there are other changes in the environment. Now this was fun, wasn't it? You should try this at home, either by yourself or with your friend from school. Make a video or take pictures of your experiment. Ask your teacher or your parents to help you post the results of your experiment on social media. Tag WeGoInnovate so that you can win some fabulous prizes. Don't forget to add your name and the name of your school to your entry and hashtag GH4STEM. Good luck with your experiment. You can be a junior scientist too.
name is Brian Nasser Kohli, and I'm from Dolua Presby Basic B. And I plead to all the viewers to vote for the blind man walking aid.
Brian Nasser's experiment was interesting, wasn't it? Vote Brian Nasser Kohli, Dodowa Presby Basic B, Greater Accra region of Ghana at www.wegoinnovate.org. You can vote as many times as you want. It's free. GH for STEM Juniors Challenge. Now for another junior scientist in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. This time we have Edfa Owusu Mensah of Galaxy International School. This junior scientist shows us a firework demonstration experiment. For this, he uses sodium chlorate, 2 beakers along with some sugar, potassium permanganate, and sulfuric acid. This junior scientist is on fire. Let's check out his experiment. Fires are usually set when there is a source of heat, oxygen, and fuel to burn. However, a fire can be set by just mixing 2 or more chemical substances.
So you're going to start by adding sugar with the sodium chlorate in a beaker. So then you stir it through, pour it down. I'll add some sulfuric acid.
Be careful when adding the sulfuric acid, and also make sure to do this in an open space to avoid a fire outbreak. What we see here is sulfuric acid reacting with the sugar to generate a high heat energy. The sodium chlorate helps release oxygen, which supports and encourages burning.
For the next one, we will need cotton wool, potassium permanganate, acetone. We'll start by soaking the cotton wool in acetone. Next, we'll add some potassium permanganate. We're going to initiate the reaction by adding sulfuric acid.
With this, the potassium permanganate made oxygen available, allowing the acetone and sulfuric acid to burn once the two generated high heat energy.
This particular experiment lasts a bit longer because the acetone in the cotton wool must soak all the energy before producing the fire. The final one includes potassium permanganate, glycerine, water. I'm going to start by fetching reasonable amounts of potassium permanganate. Then I'll pour a bit of glycerine in the center.
See what happens. The reaction caught fire because potassium permanganate oxidizes the glycerine. At the same time, much heat is produced, which eventually catches fire and burns because of the presence of oxygen. Can you think of festive seasons like Christmas and opening ceremonies of big events such as the World Cup and Olympics?
This chemical fire involves what we call fireworks. And you see them in our daily life. For example, in the rocket fall, in the normal fireworks, also Fire Service Authority, if you hear that there's a fire and you are going to extinguish it, first of all, get the preliminary information. For example, if the factory is selling glycerin, also selling potassium permanganate, then you decide to use water to extinguish the fire, you would rather what? Increase the fire. My name is Anas Dahmane. I'm a chemistry teacher in Galaxy International School.
You should try this at home, either by yourself or with your friend from school. Make a video or take pictures of your experiment. Ask your teacher or your parents to help you post the results of your experiment on social media. Tag We Go Innovate so that you can win some fabulous prizes. Don't forget to add your name and the name of your school to your entry and hashtag GH4STEM. Good luck with your experiment. You can be a junior scientist too.
I am Edfelso Mensa of Galaxy International School. Please vote for my experiment for the Juniors Challenge.
Edfire's experiment was quite a fire starter, don't you think? Vote Edfire Owusu Mensa, Galaxy International School, to Accra region of Ghana at www.wegoinnovate.org. You can vote as many times as you want. It's free. GH for STEM Juniors Challenge. Next in line, we have Maurice Kojo Asari, a junior scientist from the Greater Accra region of Ghana. Kojo is a student of Presby Basic A. Kojo is interested in an experiment for classifying acids and bases. To do this important science practical, Kojo needs an orange, bicarbonate of soda, wood ash, vinegar, and a red and blue litmus paper. Now let's see what this junior scientist can do.
An acid is a compound that tells units will be buried, and a base is a compound that tells units will be covered. So now I'm going to prepare my substances.
Be careful when cutting the bottles to create your beakers. Maurice's substances are all in liquid form since he will dip the litmus paper into them to detect the color change.
So now I'll give my PVT paper to each of the samples to see which one has.
Recall that Maurice said dipping blue litmus paper in acid turns it red, and dipping red litmus paper in a base turns it blue. Taking note of the starting color of the litmus paper, whether red or blue, is very important.
So I can see that there is two color change. After dipping the blue litmus paper, it's the there is color change. After dipping the blue litmus paper into the bicarbonate of soda solution, there is no color change. After dipping the blue litmus paper into the orange, there was a color change.
The soda solution is a base and does not have an effect on the blue litmus paper.
The substances in which the blue litmus is red are acids. That's the orange juice and the vinegar. Next, I will dip the red litmus paper into each of the substances to see the substance that is base. After taking the red litmus paper into the blue ash solution, there was a color change. After dipping the red litmus paper into the vinegar, there was no color change. After dipping the red litmus paper into the bicarbonate of soda solution, there was a color change. When I dip the red litmus paper into the orange juice, there was no color change.
Vinegar is an acid and will not have an effect on the red litmus paper. The choice of litmus paper for which test is very important in experiments like this.
After dipping the red litmus paper into each of the substances, the substance in which the red litmus paper tends to be are the base, that the bicarbonate of soda solution and the wood ash solution.
I'm Elizabeth Agmaple from Presby Basic A School. I'm the science teacher. We can use this test to identify acids and bases in industries, which can be used in the production of paints, dyes, fertilizers, synthetic fibers, to treat soil acidity and also to soften water.
So now we know how to tell the difference between an acid and a base. Cool, right? Try this yourself at home, either on your own or with a friend from school. Make a video or take pictures of your experiment. Ask your teacher or your parents to help you post the results of your experiment on social media. Tag We Go Innovate so that you can win some fabulous prizes. Don't forget to add your name and the name of your school to your entry and hashtag GH4STEM. Good luck with your experiment. You can be a junior scientist too.
My name is Asai Kojo Morris. I'm from Turkey. The name of my school's university is Glutton. My experiment was to classify substances into acids and bases. Please vote for me.
What a useful experiment. Vote Morris Kojo Asari from Presby Basic A, Greater Accra region of Ghana at www.wegoinnovate.org. You can vote as many times as you want. It's free. GH for STEM Juniors Challenge. Yes, you've watched the GH for STEM Juniors Challenge episodes, but have you voted? I'm sure you have one or two favorites from each region, right? If so, then help push your best experiments through to the top 30 juniors finalists by voting on our website, www.wegoinnovate.org. To vote, click on the vote button at the top right corner of the site. Choose a region and simply click the thumb symbol under your favorite experiment to vote. It's easy. Also, re-watch your favorite experiment right here on the voting platform with no trouble at all. Don't forget to share your vote with your followers on Facebook or Twitter so they too can support the Juniors Challenge. Vote now. It's free. Also, follow at We Go Innovate on all social media platforms. GH for STEM Juniors Challenge. Now we have Christabel Port Royalson, a junior scientist from Rohi Christian School, which is located in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. Christabel uses some water, alcohol, and also iced water to perform a distillation experiment. Now let's see how she does it. Water and alcohol have different boiling points. Therefore, they can be separated by a process of simple distillation.
To make the condenser, we'll make a hole at the bottom of the container.
Water vapor from boiling will be cooled by the condenser.
I'm making a hole to pass the ice water into the bottom.
The iced water will cool the vapor and the water will be obtained.
So now I'll pass my hole through the bottom. I will glue the bottle to the screen to prevent the ice water from flowing. This is my homemade condenser. It is made up of an adapter, a tube, and 2 bottles. I'll fix my condenser on the reference stand.
The condenser is to be held in place for the vapor to pass through.
I'll then put my conical flask at the other end of the tube. And I'll pour my water and my alcohol into my container. I'll then cover my container with a lid to prevent the vaporized alcohol from escaping during boiling. I'll connect my adapter to the container to the lid of the container.
The thermometer is to check the temperature of the vapor to be condensed.
I'll pour my ice water into my condenser. I'll cover the mouth of my conical flask with the aluminum foil. Now I'll apply my salt of heat. I'll wait for some time. When the temperature of the liquid reaches 78 degrees, the vaporized alcohol will pass to the tube.
Alcohol boils at 78 degrees Celsius while water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. The alcohol will boil before the water. The vapor will be condensed as it passes through the condenser and collected as alcohol.
Simple distillation is used in most of the industries to obtain distilled water for their lab works. So it is used by our local men to obtain the local gin, which is called apateshi, from palm wine. My name is Bismarck Ananeji. I'm the science educator of the Royal Christian School.
This is why alcohol evaporates before water when wine is heated. This application is applied in purifying drinking water on a small or large scale. What do you think of Christabel's experiment? Cool, right? So you should try this at home, either by yourself or with your friends from school. Make a video or take pictures of your experiment. Ask your teacher or your parents to help you post the results of your experiment on social media. Tag We Go Innovate so that you can win some fabulous prizes. Don't forget to add your name and the name of your school to your entry and hashtag GH4STEM. Good luck with your experiment. You can be a junior scientist too.
My name is Christabel. I am a young scientist from the Royal Christian School for the junior science. Please vote for my experiment, separation of a mixture of water and alcohol using the simple distillation method.
I know you liked Christabel's experiment. Vote Christabel Port Royalson, Rohi Christian School, Greater Accra region of Ghana at www.wegoinnovate.org. You can vote as many times as you want. It's free. GH for STEM Juniors Challenge. Here we have Rosalind Aqua, a junior scientist in Tema within the Greater Accra region of Ghana. Rosalind will show us the crush and can experiment from her classroom in Archbishop Andor RC Basic School. She conducts this practical experiment using only a burner, a sealed empty can, and a pan of cold water. Let's see what this junior scientist can do with a bang. The air in the atmosphere applies some force to everything around us. And this force is able to crush things just as we have many ways of crushing containers with our hands, our feet, and so on. But nature has its own way of maintaining balance.
To start with, I will take my can and pour a little amount of water in, just enough to cover the bottom of the can. Then I'll put it on my burner. The steam that is coming out is carrying air, so it reduces the pressure in the can.
Remember, the vapor from the little water boiled was to move air out of the can.
When it boils for a while, I'll have to cover it to prevent the hot vapor from getting out of the can.
Covering the can keeps the hot air and heat in the can, building up pressure in the can.
Cover it very tightly. and gently take it off and put it.
Can you guess what happens when we pour cold water over the can to cool it down?
The can crashed because the cold water condensed the hot vapor, which further reduced the pressure in the can, which made it crash.
Cold air contracts, crushing the can from the inside.
We have a lot of applications of atmospheric pressure. For instance, you want to empty a petrol tank. You need to use the siphoning. Because of pressure difference, the one at the top has a higher pressure. With a little sucking, all the fuel is emptied. Like you want to inflate your football or your car tires, all is as a result of what? Atmospheric pressure. My name is John Safu. I'm the science teacher for Archbishop Andor RC Basic School.
This is why the pressure inside the can is usually made similar to the pressure outside. Do you also know why we cover our pans with lids while cooking? So now you've seen Rosalind's explosive experiment. What do you think? Can you do it too? You should try this at home, either by yourself or with your friends from school. Make a video or take pictures of your experiment. Ask your teacher or your parents to help you post the results of your experiment on social media. Tag We Go Innovate so that you can win some fabulous prizes. Don't forget to add your name and the name of your school to your entry and hashtag GH4STEM. Good luck with your experiment. You can be a junior scientist too.
I performed the crashing can experiment. I thankfully am grateful to my experiment.
Rosalind's experiment went with a bang, don't you think? If you liked her experiment, vote for Rosalind Aqua at Bishop Andor RC Basic School, Accra region of Ghana, at www.wegoinnovate.org. You can vote as many times as you want. It's free. GH for STEM Juniors Challenge. Now we have junior scientist Christabel Opong. She is a student at Katamanso KKMA number 1 JHS, which is in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. In her science practical, she shows us the diffusion process. For this experiment, she needs a transparent container, water, and some ink. Now let's see what she can do with these simple things. Diffusion is the net movement of particles from a region of higher concentration to a region of low concentration. The transparent container will allow us to see what is happening at all times.
First of all, I pour the water into the container. To serve as my medium, I pour the ink at one edge of the container.
As you can see, Christabel is creating a medium for the movement of the ink to be observed.
You observe that the molecules have moved from the high concentration area to the low concentration area.
The ink was more concentrated at the corner of the container. Notice what happens to the ink with time. The ink molecules spread evenly in the medium.
This can be applied to how food nutrients is absorbed into the body during digestion, and also how a pregnant mother diffuses food and oxygen to the fetus through the placenta. Emmanuel X. Agbonesha is my name. Science teacher, Katamanso No. 1 Basic School.
This is why a tea bag diffuses in water, and the smell of perfume in one corner of a room can diffuse to fill the whole room. This is why the environment is polluted with gases and other toxic particles when they are released from factories and other human activities such as waste burning. Now that was a great demonstration of what diffusion looks like. How about you? Can you try this experiment at home by yourself or with your friends from school? Make a video or take pictures of your experiment. Ask your teacher or your parents to help you post the results of your experiment on social media. Tag We Go Innovate so that you can win some fabulous prizes. Don't forget to add your name and the name of your school to your entry and hashtag GH4STEM. Good luck with your experiment. You can be a junior scientist too.
Christabel is my name. I attend Katamanso No. 1 JHS. My experiment is about diffusion process. Please vote for me.
I know you loved Christabel's experiment. So vote Christabel upon Katamanso KKMA No. 1 JHS, Greater Accra region of Ghana at www.wegoinnovate.org. You can vote as many times as you want. It's free. GH for STEM Juniors Challenge. Mercy Havel is a young scientist at Bethel AME Zion JHS, located at Ashaiman in the Greater Accra region of Ghana. The title of her experiment is biasing of PN junction diode. The items needed for this experiment are a circuit board, a switch, a PN junction diode, LED, batteries, and connecting wires.
To demonstrate this, we put our battery pack on the circuit board. We put our switch also on the circuit board, PN junction diode, our LED. We have to make sure that the PN junction diode is connected in forward bias form.
A forward bias form indicates that the diode is connected in a manner which supports the flow of current from the batteries and around the circuit.
Now we will connect our connector wires to the circuit. We will connect the PN junction diode to the LED.
The connecting wires to the PN junction diode, the battery, LED, and the switch completes the connection.
Now we put in our batteries. We'll turn the switch on to check whether there is flow of current in this circuit. We'll switch it off. It has gone off. We'll close it. The LED has a lit light again.
The LED has a metered light because current flows through the circuit as a result of forward biasing. This arrangement has the negative terminal of the diode connected to the positive terminal of the battery.
This means that there is flow of current in this circuit because of the low resistance at the junction, which has allowed the LED to emit light. That's the forward bias. To demonstrate the reverse bias, you either change the terminals of the battery or you change the direction of the PN junction diode.
This is reverse biasing, and it's the opposite of forward biasing.
We will turn our switch on to check whether there is flow of current in the circuit. And the LED does not emit light. the LED does not emit light again. This means that in reverse bias, there is no or no current flowing through the circuit. Because of the high resistance at the junction, which does not allow the LED to emit light.
GN junction diode is used in our everyday electronic appliances. So we use it for rectification. When you talk of rectification, what we simply mean is that we use it to convert or to change alternative currents to direct currents. Mobile charges, our television sets, we have GN junction diodes. I'm the Gunaincho, teaching integrated science in Bethel Junior High School, Asham.
Proper connection of our mobile phones and laptops to their chargers make electric current to flow or pass through them. If our batteries run low, we can make our laptops and mobile phones work again because they have been recharged. Wrong electrical connection can spoil our electronic devices such as laptops, televisions, and mobile phones. They can even cause a fire outbreak. So now you can try this at home, either by yourself or with your friends from school. Make a video or take pictures of your experiment.
Ask your teacher or your parents to help you post the results of your experiment on social media. Tag We Go Innovate so that you can win some fabulous prizes. Don't forget to add your name and the name of your school to your entry and hashtag GH4STEM. Good luck with your experiment. You can be a junior scientist too.
We are the young scientists of Bethel AME Zion Sciences for the Junior Challenge. Kindly vote for our experiment. Balancing of PN junction line. Thank you.
Now that was an amazing experiment, wasn't it? Vote Mercy Habor, Bethel AME Zion JHS, Greater Accra region of Ghana at www.wegoinnovate.org. You can vote as many times as you want. It's free. GH for STEM Juniors Challenge. From the Greater Accra region of Ghana, we have Penelope de Fampo. Penelope is a junior scientist at Falset Foundation School. There, she conducts an incandescent bulb experiment. For this, she needs a candle, some graphite, 12 batteries, and some crocodile clips. Now let's see what she can light up with these few important items. Light bulbs can emit light after a filament is heated. This is an incandescent light bulb.
To begin the experiment, I'm going to check the voltage of our battery. The voltage of our battery is approximately 1.5.
The voltage will drive the current into the graphite. A voltmeter is used to check the voltage.
So we are going to connect them in series.
The voltages of the batteries are added to give a large voltage when connected in series.
Now, we are going to check the total voltage of all the batteries together. So we are getting approximately 18 volts. So now we are going to connect our wires to the terminals of the battery holder, using the black wire as negative, red wire as the positive terminal. Connect the end of the wires through the wood support to the tripod stand. I am going to connect the wires to the tissue holder using duct tape. I'm going to use the sealant to seal the hole. Now I'm going to place my graphite in between the crocodile clips. I'm going to pour my oil around to prevent oxygen from penetrating through the glass jar. I'm going to light my candle.
The candle's flame depletes all the oxygen in the glass jar. The candle will go off because of lack of oxygen to support it.
And now that the candle is done burning, we are going to switch on our light. So the graphite is glowing and it serves as an incandescent light bulb. So I'm going to control it with a switch.
The graphite glows because it has been heated by the flame from the candle.
The incandescent light bulb, originally made by Thomas Edison, it shows the energy transformation involved when lighting up a bulb. My name is John Yeboah, the science demonstrator from Fawcett Foundation School.
So now you see how to create your own light bulb. Cool, right? Then you can try it yourself at home or with your friend from school. Make a video or take pictures of your experiment.
Ask your teacher or your parents to help you post the results of your experiment on social media. Tag We Go Innovate so that you can win some fabulous prizes. Don't forget to add your name and the name of your school to your entry and hashtag GH4STEM. Good luck with your experiment. You can be a junior scientist too.
My name is Penelope Dapiameto, a young scientist of Fawcett Foundation School. The title of my experiment is Incandescent Light Bulb. For the Juniors Challenge, kindly vote for my experiment, the Incandescent Light Bulb.
What an awesome experiment! Let's support Penelope by recognizing her good work. Then vote Penelope Dafampo, Fawcett Foundation School, Greater Accra Region of Ghana at www.wegoinnovate.org. You can vote as many times as you want. It's free. GH for STEM Juniors Challenge. At the heart of GH for STEM Juniors Challenge are these teachers who against all odds are creating powerful learning environments using everyday materials as teaching aids even in fairly complex scientific experiments.
GH for STEM.
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 GH for STEM. Thank you.
GH for STEM.
GH for STEM.
GH for STEM.
GH for STEM Juniors Challenge. Don't forget to vote for your favorite experiment or demonstration at www.wegoinnovate.org. Find the region or name of the school, the name of the junior scientist, and vote. Remember, you can vote as many times as you want. It's free. Next week, we meet our GH for STEM judges. They will get to decide our top 30 experiments from across Ghana. This is definitely the time to get as many votes in to ensure your favorites wins. GH for STEM Juniors Challenge.
Hope Channel, changing lives.
Good afternoon. It's raining in Accra here. I don't know about you. And so a cool day's greeting is what I extend to you. And I welcome you once again to the show, Watch These Signs, only on Hope Channel Ghana. And let me also take this opportunity to thank all our faithful viewers, especially Elder Philibert, who has been a very faithful viewer since the beginning of this program, and countless others whose names we do not know or may not be able to even mention on the show. Thank you for watching and also for recommending the program to your friends. Today we would continue the discussion again on alcohol and its appropriateness for the Christian or even for the human race. Last week we ended the show on a very interesting note. A viewer sent in a comment saying, not even suggested, but saying that Jesus Christ was a drunkard. Very serious statement. But that's what we want to look at today. Was Jesus a glutton and a drunkard? Was he? Before we go into the show, or even before we take the opening prayer, I would want to take this opportunity to wish Pastor Andrews Lawrence Ewu a very special birthday. Today is September 24th, and today is his birthday. And so, Pastor, we wish you a very happy birthday and pray that the Lord himself will continue to bless you and prosper you in all your work. Similarly, we have Pastor Alfred Esiem, the producer for this show, also having his birthday today. And so, Pastor Alfred Esiem, a very happy birthday to you, and may the Lord continue to bless and use you greatly in the ministry. Our key text, when we come back after the prayer, would be Luke 7:33 to 34. And you find the same text in Matthew 11:19. So Luke 7:33 to 34, Matthew 11:19. Please get your Bible. We would pray and launch straight into the discussion. Pastor Chum, the regular guest for the show, would pray for us. And as usual, my name is Solis Asafo.
Can we bow our heads and pray? Gracious Father, as we begin the study today, we invite your presence to be with us. Speak to our hearts and our minds so that we can faithfully live for you. Alcohol is plentiful on the streets, but the results of drinking alcohol is very devastating. We are praying that you speak to the viewers, speak to all those who are listening in today, so that we can live virtuous lives all the days of our lives on earth. So when we come and you want the people to live with you in heaven, we shall not be found wanting. With glory and honor and adoration be ascribed to your name forever and ever, because we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. So welcome back. If you want to join the discussion during the show, send a question, a comment, or any suggestion, you can do so through our WhatsApp line 055-968-0066. 055-968-0066. You can also leave your comments on our Facebook and YouTube platforms, and we would read them for you and answer the questions that you have sent to us. As I indicated, the topic for today is Jesus, a glutton and a drunkard. Was Jesus a glutton and a drunkard? Now, before we go into that, Pastor, last week we missed out on a question that came in. And his question was about if alcohol is used as a base for medicine.
Yeah.
Is it wrong or is it sinful for a Christian?
We're not going to drink it to get drunk and go about misbehaving. It is a drug. You want to use it for your ailment. So that one God will not hold you accountable. People take alcohol on societal, social events, and that is where we are saying it is not right, because alcohol will destroy your body, destroy your family, and send you out of heaven.
Okay.
It is their conscience is not to get drunk, but to get cured of an illness. There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, so the intention behind the act
is what God will look at.
And this time, the alcohol serves as a form of medication.
Yes, it is medicine.
Not for pleasure.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the answer to your question. Why are you taking it? If it's for medication, that certainly is different from those who drink it for pleasure and for appetite. Now to today's discussion. We read a text that's... let's now read our key text, sorry. Our key text can be found in Luke chapter 7. Luke chapter 7, verse 33 to 34. And this is what the record says. For John the Baptist came, neither eating bread nor drinking wine, and you say he was a demon. The Son of Man has come eating and drinking, and you say, look, a glutton and a wine bibber, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. The same text is also found in Matthew 11:19. And that also reads, Matthew 11 verse 19, and that says, the Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, look, a glutton and a wine bibber, a friend of tax collectors and sinners, but wisdom is justified by her children. So you realize in both cases, as Pastor pointed out last week, there was no mention of Jesus drinking wine. Okay.
Let's retreat it.
Yeah.
You see, when you look at the text, there are some things you can see. When Jesus was describing John the Baptist, he said, John came neither eating bread nor drinking wine. But in his case, he said, the Son of Man is come eating and drinking.
Yeah.
So you can see that the wine aspect is missing here. So he's talking about the social lifestyle of Jesus and John the Baptist. John was a recluse. He lived in the desert all the days of his life. Look at Luke 1:80.
Luke chapter 1, verse 18.
80. 80.
Okay. Luke 1:80 says, so the child grew and became strong in spirit, and was in the desert till the day of his manifestation to Israel.
So all the days of John's adult life was spent in the desert. And he was there learning, being taught by the Holy Spirit, so that he can become the voice, preparing the way of the Lord. When he came, he was 30 years. And he lived for only 6 months after he was shown to the people. So his lifestyle was a recluse. He was not a social person. But Jesus was a social person. He was meeting people, eating with them, so that he could let them know the practical aspects of the gospel. So the lifestyle of Jesus and the lifestyle of John
were
two different. They were in contrast. So Jesus was saying that about himself, that he was socializing with people, and they said he was a drunkard. But he never mentioned wine. And he never told us the kind of food he was even eating. So it was just the social aspect of Jesus' lifestyle and that of John that he was seeing here. And then we see that verse 35 says, the wisdom is justified of her children. What it means is that, let me read this here. It said, the wisdom of God is vindicated by the words of goodness to which it gives birth. That's to infer on the basis of the aspersions of his critics that Jesus drank wine shows a complete lack of wisdom. The results of his life of self-denial speaks for themselves. He lived a life of self-denial. So how can a person who lived this kind of life be a glutton and a drunkard? It is not.
Okay. So Jesus lived a life of self-denial. And I think from our previous discussions on alcohol alcohol makes you lose control.
Yes,
of yourself.
You are everywhere, saying all kinds of things, verbal statements.
Exactly. So certainly you can't say that the person who said your body is his temple would give allowance for you to drink, for you to lose self-control. And that brings us to the first part of today's discussion. In the previous discussions, we've talked about effect of alcohol on different parts of the body. We looked at the brain and its effect. Today we will take an in-depth look into the effect of alcohol on the various parts of the body. So as usual, we'll start with the brain. What the effect of alcohol is on your brain. If you have to be self-controlled, if you drink alcohol, can you be?
Now, God created the body with about 17 billion brain cells. And naturally, you lose about 50,000 a day. So God has calculated that whilst you are losing, you'll be getting closer and closer to your death. And your brain should be able to control you, you live with it until you die. But when you take alcohol, the brain cells become agglutinated, they form warts. And because they form warts, they are not able to move in a single file to the tiny capillaries that supplies oxygen to the brain. And after 15 minutes, the brain cells will die. So the most serious thing that alcohol does to the brain is that it continues to kill more brain cells. So that you could be young, about 30 years, but all your brain cells will be dead because of the alcohol you consume. And one glass of 14% alcohol can cause so much damage that those who are drinking the apetition type of 96%, I don't know what is that. I don't know how many brain cells they have in their brains. So they say that when an alcoholic dies and you open the brain is spongy. All the cells are dead. So you can't say anything from an alcoholic person's brain. So the most dangerous thing that the alcohol does to the brain is that it kills so much brain cells that you will be alive, but your brains are all dead.
Pastor, if we look at the connection between the brain and your ability to reason, what does this suggest?
We Adventists know about the great controversy. The great controversy is not being fought on a certain stadium. It is in the brain. So now that the devil has been able to take over your brain, he has conquered you already. You can't reason. And Hebrews 11 says that we have to have faith. You won't even understand it. So you just be somebody a pawn in the hands of Satan so that he will destroy you. We have to be able to be reasonable, able to reason, and be able to see the things the devil is bringing to us so that we can conquer him with the help of the blood of Jesus. So somebody who is drinking, he is already a defeated person.
Someone who is drinking is already a defeated person. Well, that's for some food for thought. Now let's look at the heart. From the brain we come to the heart. What is the effect of alcohol on the heart?
Alcohol increases the risk of hypertension, stroke, and damage to the heart muscles. Alcohol has a toxic effect on the heart, finally causing irreversible damage to the heart muscle. Drinking daily for as little as 2 years causes irreversible damage to the heart muscle. Drinking daily for increases amounts of fat that collects in the heart and disturbs its normal metabolism. So one, the heart muscle is damaged and fat is collected in the heart. So the normal metabolic activity of the heart is taken care of. So you are losing your heart. And very soon you see the thing is enlarged and you have a heart problem which will let you die early.
Can that be connected because of the issue of the collection of fat in the heart? Can that be connected to hypertension?
Yeah, hypertension and stroke and all those things. The heart will be prone to get into that serious danger because it does irreversible damage. The muscle is relaxed, you lose the valves, and the heart it fails.
We are still looking at the issue of the effect of alcohol on body parts. We've looked at the brain, the heart. Now the lungs. Your lungs help you in your respiratory it's a part of your respiratory system, and they help with breathing. What is the impact of alcohol on this organ?
Alcohol depresses respiratory functions. Alcohol has a toxic or poisonous effect on the lungs. The lung is poisoned. So its work of allow you to take oxygen so that it goes through the red blood cells, and then you give the carbon dioxide out. It's all impaired because the heart is poisoned. It's not able to function properly. Now we are afraid of COVID-19 because...
And I was going to ask that this lung and heart issue now with COVID-19, with you not being able to breathe,
that is why these are some of the underlying factors that are killing people. COVID-19, the virus will destroy the alveolar, the sacs that collect the oxygen and exchange it for carbon dioxide. But if the thing is toxic and it's not working, already it is impaired. So you die quickly.
It just hits you by.
You die very.
Your heart is also not functioning properly. Hypertension is in
so
there.
So that is why many people are dying. These are underlying factors. Or from alcohol. Alcohol can be a serious factor.
Okay. Now, this is interesting. Part of our survival as a human race is based on our reproduction.
Yes.
Our ability to reproduce ourselves so that the human race can survive. Is there an effect of alcohol on that?
It is serious. In men, alcohol can damage cells in the testes, causing impotence, sterility, and in women, enlarged breasts. In women, alcohol causes irregular menstrual cycles and malfunction of the ovaries. Alcohol has also been linked to birth defects in infants. The fetal alcohol syndrome, FES. Alcohol impairs the function of all endocrine glands. So all the glands that has to do with reproduction, those that can reproduce, the ovaries and the whatever, they are all destroyed by alcohol. And they disturb the chemical messengers, the estrogen and whatever, they are all destroyed. So
the hormones
are
all gone. Well, this is interesting. So you realize that it has an effect on men, it has an effect on women, and even an effect on the unborn child.
Yes.
So if a woman is pregnant and drinking, there's an effect on her and the child. And it's sad that the condition you mentioned, children are born already drunkards.
Yes.
Because the alcohol will be in their system, which clearly is no fault of theirs.
Yes.
Please, I hope you are following the trend. If you are still one to believe that Jesus sanctioned or God sanctioned the drinking of alcohol.
And Jesus was a drunkard.
And Jesus was a drunkard. My question to you would be, the same person who says, if you destroy the body, I will destroy you, why would he aid us to destroy our body? Remember, the show is Watch These Signs. We are discussing the topic, Jesus, an alcoholic, a glutton, and a drunkard. If you have questions, comments, the text line is 055-968-0066. You can also post on our Facebook and WhatsApp, Facebook and YouTube platforms. Pastor will take a question and then we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the discussion. We will look at alcohol and the liver. The little reading I've done, there's always this claim of liver cirrhosis.
Yes.
What is the connection?
That's the hardening of the liver. You see, because our liver must filter alcohol from the blood. Alcohol affects the liver more than any other organ of the body. The moment you put alcohol inside, the liver wants to get rid of it. And by so doing, excess calories in the alcohol are stored in the fat in the liver, as fat in the liver.
Okay.
Functioning liver cells die from alcoholic poisoning. Scar tissue replaces dead cells, causes cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is a degeneration of healthy liver tissue into scar tissue. It occurs 8 times more often in alcoholics than more non-drinkers. Consistent social drinkers also have increased liver fats and damage to liver cells. They understand the liver is the burial grounds for dead cells. Yes, all the dead cells are buried in the liver so that you can live well. And the liver is hardened, so the dead cells will be all floating in the blood. That's a very serious thing. So your liver is hardened, it can't work, and soon you see that the liver is protruding. And your stomach protrudes. Yeah. Your face is all puffy, and before soon, gone too soon. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the discussion on the effect of alcohol on other parts of the body. Remember, the show is Watch These Signs. And our goal for this show is that you know the truth so that the truth can set you free, for you to live a life that would prepare you for this life and for eternity. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Super soldier. Then I watch him. It is either Senyame or Nia a bomb pua, either saw it or Chirayan Yansen, and I say, the devil's intention was to disgrace Christ, but God's intention was to fix a broken relationship. Hallelujah. How are we? But I did about minimum pesa me the mouth. So be in your meal. I should be bell. About
Hello, my dear family, my friend, my big brothers and my sisters. Today is another day on Family Life.
School is an extension of the home. Then the teacher's role actually goes beyond just teaching.
Some people say that insurance is like a parachute. Okay? Insurance, you know when you need a parachute, when you drop from an airplane or from a cliff, and then just when you land, your parachute has to come alive and then carry you. So insurance is like that. If you don't have it when you need it, you will never need it again, because you are going to die anyway.
So when you let stress come over you and people are saying this, and because for our society, if you don't have a child, but please, you have your own timetable, and God have a special timetable for you.
Self-care is so important right now. If you are not alive tomorrow, you can't get the job that will be available tomorrow. So when you are going through all these job crises, whether you've lost your job, about to lose your job, or believe you are not even going to lose your job, think about your health first.
Family Life, every Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Welcome back to Watch These Signs. Before the break, we were looking at the effect of alcohol on the brain, the heart, the liver, the lungs, and the reproductive system, as well as the liver. The discussion so far has been that all these organs are damaged by the intake of alcohol. And if our argument is that God sanctions the drinking of alcohol, then it suggests that God is helping you to destroy the very vital organs needed for your survival. And that destruction, he himself then says, if you destroy your body, he will destroy you. That is an injustice. So today we want to look at the very basic things. Even if there were no Bible, when you encounter the research that alcohol affects your body in this way, you should be taking a decision to stay away from the bottle and the glass. So we'll continue our discussion. We'll look at the effects on the immune system and the pancreas.
Alcohol weakens the body's defense against infections. So somebody who is drinking alcohol will soon be arrested by HIV/AIDS because the immune system is gone.
All the infectious diseases.
And all infectious diseases. Pancreas. Excess use of alcohol inflames the pancreas. Once inflamed, it may not fully recover but continue to degenerate. In acute forms, the pancreas hemorrhages usually result in them. It's the pancreas that produces insulin to control the sugar. And so, become alcoholic, it's very likely that you'll be diabetic. So, alcohol is a very dangerous thing.
So, you start drinking and then you pack for yourself diseases.
Yes.
You have blood pressure, you may have liver cirrhosis, you may have diabetes. And it's interesting that some people truly have hypertension, they are diabetic, and yet they continue to drink.
They are drinking themselves to death. In fact, in their own way, they wouldn't have done it, but they are not addicted.
Exactly.
They can't come out of it. That's why they are still drinking.
Well, it's getting interesting and frightening as well. Now let's look at our intestines. You take in the alcohol, it goes through the stomach into the intestines.
The intestines are there to help you absorb vital body nutrients like folic acid, xylose, fat, vitamin B1, B12, amino acids. When you drink alcohol, it blocks the intestine from absorbing these things, so that the alcoholic doesn't have any nutrient in the body. There's more nutrition in the system of somebody who is drinking alcohol. All these things, thiamine, xylose, folic acid, vitamins, B1, B12, and they are all, you can't absorb them. So you just eat everything, you just come out of it. And the body is...
What is the use of these in the body? I want people to understand that, because you spoke about the result being malnutrition. But what was the use of, for instance, folic acid, vitamin B1 in my body? Said that if I lose it, I should be concerned.
It is a whole subject. But what I know is that some of them will prevent you from getting scurvy. Some of them will help you to... folic acid, for instance, it is one thing that helps... women who have just come out, giving birth. That is the very important chemical that they give to them, so that they can contain their composure and get healed from those things that will result from giving birth.
And even during conception, I hear that folic acid is given to women to help with the normal development of the fetus.
So we have to have time to go into that.
But it's interesting that, because somebody will, well, if I lose this, what's the fault? But we've realized that Pastor said one of the effects is malnutrition. So I'm eating and I'm not getting anything out of the food. Because your system lacks folic acid, especially if you're a woman, and we even touched on it as we were doing the introduction. Children are born with birth defects because of the effect of alcohol on our body system. When we look at the blood is what is it, a lifeline?
Yes.
To our survival.
Yeah. The blood has the red blood cells that will normally take oxygen from the lungs and carry them to all parts of the body, so that your body can use the oxygen to burn the food and then generate carbon dioxide that the blood will also carry through the lungs, and you get them out. So without the red cells working perfectly, going to all the capillaries, your body cells will not get the oxygen they need to burn their food so that they can live. So they will continue to die. That's why it is said after 15 minutes, after drinking alcohol, a lot of brain cells will die, and most other parts of the body too, the cells will be dying. But it is true that some of the cells can regenerate, so that the brain cells, when you are destroyed, you won't get it back again. You need the blood to move in a single file, but when alcohol gets into the blood, they agglutinate, they move to watts. So the tiny capillaries, they cannot move through, and the body cells are deficient of oxygen.
And does that, what is the result of that?
It means the cells will not be supplied with oxygen, so they will die. The cells, all various cells, the body is made of several millions of cells. And the various cells where the oxygen has to be supplied, they won't get it. So many cells of the body will be dying. That is why we go to the sex, even the sex glands. It said that they begin to malfunction and they degenerate. So, just like Shakespeare said, when you drink alcohol, it will provoke the desire, but will take away the performance. And your wives will not be happy, and you just come with a divorce paper, I want to go.
Because you even need blood flow to be able to perform.
Yes,
so if the blood is not flowing very well,
so you become useless to everybody.
And I also read that it can even cause anemia.
Oh yes.
In the person. So if you are drinking and you don't have blood, don't blame it on a witch. Blame it on a witch that the witches come to drink your blood in your sleep. It's alcohol that's drinking your blood. So beware of that. Now, in terms of the functioning of the bone tissue, in terms of the bone tissue, what is the effect?
The bone becomes brittle. You see, alcoholics get broken bones all the time.
It softens up.
Yeah, the bone becomes brittle. So once in a while you fall down to break. A normal person will not have a broken part, but you fall because the bone has become brittle. So very soon your legs, your thighs, everything is breaking away, and you are incapacitated sitting in your room. Alcohol can do that for you.
So Pastor Lan, let me find this. If I'm a social drinker, I'm not yet an addict. Would I be getting the same level? Or so, you know, last week we talked about the graduations. So once a while I go out, I drink. Maybe I will not have these effects as that of someone who is addicted to the bottle.
People think when you drink just a little bit of alcohol, it doesn't have you. 1 glass of alcohol will begin the agglutination of the rest cells. So it doesn't matter with the quantity. The moment alcohol gets into the body, it starts destroying the body. So that aspect of social drinking, thinking it will not harm you, it is not right. You get some effect before you realize you are becoming diabetic because the pancreas is being destroyed, even though you're a social drinker. And I think many people getting diabetes might have come from drinking alcohol.
Diabetes and the lifestyle diseases, they are rather on the increase lately.
Yes.
And so even though we are not saying as a matter of fact that could be your cause, what we are drawing from today's discussion is that it can cause these diseases because of
the bone marrow produces the white blood cells that fight, and then red blood cells that carry oxygen. The moment you drink alcohol, the functioning of the bone marrow is impaired. So that is why you become anemic. Not more blood cells are produced. So you don't have enough blood cells to be working, carrying oxygen around, and you become anemic.
Now, looking at the final effect, before we go into the issue of Jesus drinking, being a drunkard or not, the hands and the feet, what is the effect?
Alcohol causes polyneuritis, or inflammation of the nerves, resulting from vitamin deficiencies.
Like
so that
said.
vitamins, the B1, 2, which alcoholic invariably have. Polyneuritis causes burning and prickly sensation in the hand. You see that the person is having pains in the hands and the legs. It means alcohol is doing its effect. The vitamins are not getting to where they should get to. And you have the burning and prickly sensation in the hands and the feet. And when they have that, they go and drink more, so that it will cool the burning sensation.
So now, Pastor, let's go back to the issue I think I raised it already. If God would sanction wine to cause all this damage, why would he say he would judge me again if I destroy the wine?
We are putting words into the mouth of Jesus. putting words into the mind of God. God never said, see, you don't read the Bible carelessly. You read the Bible and allow the Holy Spirit to interpret to you. When you do that, you understand that God never sanctioned alcohol in any way. Like what we have in Mark 5:38. Yeah. Jesus said, he was talking to the disciples, said, they put new wine must be put into fresh wineskins. And because people are saying that wine was in active fermentation. So it means Jesus was sanctioning drinking alcohol. But anybody who has done a little science knows that when wine begins to ferment, no amount of skin can contain it. It will burst. You put in a glass, it will burst. So Jesus was not saying that. Jesus had a reason for saying we should put fresh wine into fresh wineskin, because old wineskin will have what we call albuminoid, particles of the old wine that will start fermentation. So put it in a fresh wine skin so that there will be no fermentation process. Then they will put pitch there and then they will seal it, and the wine will still be fresh. So people are putting words in the mouth of Jesus that for him to have said that put new wine in fresh wineskin and the wine was in a state of active fermentation, he was sanctioning alcohol. These are the things they say. God is sanctioning alcohol, but that's not even of that.
Maybe because he spoke so expertly of it. If you don't drink, if you don't know about the process of fermentation, why would you suggest that the separation is so many? It's not nature of it. You know. Well, now he says, what was the new wine that Jesus was talking about then?
The new wine was grapes that have been taken and pressed fresh.
Okay.
And then Jesus was saying that put these new wines in fresh wineskins, so that there won't be that particles of albuminoid that will start the fermentation process. So that, and the reason why he said that was that the gospel is a new wine, and the old wineskin is the corrupt nature of the Pharisees people. If they get the gospel in their corrupted mind, they will ferment the gospel. So God wanted them to be able to come out of their old lifestyle
into a new,
to be converted before he gives them the gospel. So the old wineskin is the Pharisees, and the intoxicating wine is the Pharisees. They were corrupt. But Jesus was talking about the gospel is a fresh wine. So it should be in a fresh wineskin, so it's not corrupted. People who don't live like the Pharisees can accept the gospel. And of course, the people who wanted the message, they gave their hearts to Jesus and they live with it. The Pharisees conspired and they killed Jesus Christ because their lives was corrupted.
It's interesting how you link the issue of corruption with old wine, fermented wine. So if you have that analysis that Jesus was trying to separate the uncorrupted from the corruption, why would you then even suggest that alcohol which corrupts
should be what Jesus would drink?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, our text line 055-968-0066. Please send in your questions and comments, and we would have them read out and questions answered. So here the point is that what Jesus said had a symbolic meaning.
Yeah.
He spoke in proverbs. It was proverbial, so we should not be taken literally and used as an excuse for drunkenness. He says, okay. Now, there's some contrast. Like I said, if new wine is connected to corruption, uncorruption, old wine, it says, what are some, how would I even say, what are some of the features of new wine?
Okay, the new wine Jesus was talking about was fresh, it was sweet, it was nice, and when you pack it well, it will live for a very long time. The gospel should make you that. You become so nice, you imbibe the words of God, you are able to help people, your life becomes pleasing, and clean. That is what the gospel does to people. But the Pharisees already had their corrupted mind. They did
Jesus,
and their lives
and the life
changed.
Transformation is beautiful.
Yes,
they are clean. Now to our main question now. It says the Son of Man came eating and drinking, and you say he was a glutton and a drunkard. Last week, I think a viewer asked a question that what was Jesus drinking that made people suggest that he was a drunkard? If he was drinking just water, no one would see someone drinking water and suggest he was a drunkard. So the questioner said, what was he drinking? What kind of wine was he drinking?
He drank. You see, he has never mentioned, because if even he drank a wine, accuses statements to establish biblical textual principles. People said Jesus had a spirit, so he was a demon. But Jesus never had any. So if you say that they said that Jesus had a spirit, so he had a demon, it means that you are using what people are saying against Jesus as a basis for interpreting scripture, and that is wrong.
Okay. It says, on the day of Pentecost, critics charged the apostles with being drunk with grape juice. Acts, and that's found in Acts 2:13. It says, what's the connection in trying to establish whether Jesus drank or not?
You see, the irony of it is that the Greek word that was used there was not oinos, which it could be wine that could be fermented or non-fermented. They use glucose.
Okay.
And glucose is known by people that is grape juice. So the word that they use, so they were saying that the people drank ordinary grape juice and they were drunk. So they were messing them up. You people, you don't know how to drink. You went and drank grape juice and you are drunk. So they were trying to tease them up.
Oh.
Yes. So that is the meaning of it. They didn't use even oinos, that is wine that could be fermented or unfermented. They used glucose, which everybody in that place knew that it was grape juice that had been pressed freshly from the tree, the grapes.
Okay, there's an insight.
Yes.
Because the cursory reading of that text suggests that
they were drunk.
They were drunk.
Yes.
People, so they might be behaving unruly. That's why people said they were drunk.
Them. You people you don't know how to drink alcohol. You want to drink Fanta, and now you are boosted. That is the meaning of it. So they intentionally used the word that suggests that they were talking about grape juice instead of wine, oinos, who could be fermented or unfermented. So the word is glucose.
I see.
They were teasing them for drinking Fanta and
becoming drunk. Well, so that's some insights for you there. It says Jesus answered baseless charges of his. This I think you tried to explain that Luke 7:35, where he said wisdom is justified by her children. Okay, so we'll take it now to the issue of alcohol and young people today, because it's. I would say, is it only young people?
The greatest menace. They did some survey in Africa. They asked the university students. A high percentage of them have taken alcohol. And some of them, I say, they think they will stop. Others, I say, they don't know whether they will be able to stop. Others, I say, they are already addicted. So young people today, we should have to find something that to occupy their time, so that they don't get into this alcohol, because when you get inside, you cannot come out. So we have to do a lot of education for these young people, that they don't even have to try it. You know, people want to just, when you ask them why you are drinking, I just want to get drunk. But everybody has his body system. Somebody will drink alcohol once, and that will be the end of his life. He will never come out of it. So we have to be able to let them know that the thing is so dangerous that don't even try it. And we should be able to find things for them to do when they don't have anything to do, because they say empty hands find jobs to do, so that they will not be tempted. And then this peer pressure thing that is drawing them to the alcohol thing, we have to be able to educate them on that. Meanwhile, the billboards and the magazines and TV adverts and the movies are all putting this in their heads, but we should be able to advise them carefully so that they don't even start it. And they said we have to begin from the elementary school level.
You know, when you mentioned billboards, my mind just went, even though I may not mention the brand, the alcohol seemed to be, especially when you watch the advert, it seems to be associated with young people who are savvy, who are, you know, modern.
Yes.
So if you also want to be like them, you want to be successful in the eyes of the world, then you should be able to drink.
Yes.
If you are not able to drink, then it's like you are some loser.
Relegated to the background. You are not somebody we can just use for anything. And that's why we have to educate our young people that don't look at what they are saying. Listen to what God is telling you. That once you take it, it will bite like a serpent. You can never come out of it. So stay away from the bottle. It is a very dangerous thing. And when we are able to push this into their minds, from some countries wanted to use legislation. 1100 BC, they started it. They have never been able to establish anything that will stop people from advertising or serving alcohol. So what they are saying, we should do serious education so that children can have time for sports and hobbies and crafts and library use and opportunities to work as community self-volunteers. And that will occupy their time so that they don't drift into this alcohol menace.
Okay. We have a comment here from JC Samuel. Okay, he says, may God continue to bless you all. Then Desmond J says, good evening, God. I'm watching you live from Seche Oduma. Say, God bless you. Keep it up. Okay, so thank you, Desmond and Samuel, for the comments you sent in. Okay. Now that we looked at young people, because once they get started, it's easier for them to do greater damage to their bodies as they age. And so we would, if you're listening, you have young people under your influence, we want to be speaking to them to abstain from drinking, and also for you yourself to set a good example of not drinking and drawing the young people into alcohol.
But they say that children who were born and they grew up in homes where their parents were drunkards are able to stay away from alcohol. Because they saw the damage. But those who came from homes where their parents were very noble, they didn't drink, they are the people who can easily be wooed into the alcohol menace. So when you are not drinking, you have to drum the effects of alcohol into the minds of your young people so that they don't try it. Because some of them will want to go and experiment. And once you experiment, you cannot come out of it. It is.
So perhaps it suggests that for somebody who has seen the effect of alcohol in their home, they don't buy the lie of, oh, alcohol is good.
They have seen
the adverts, they've seen the real effect. And so they are not persuaded by the beautiful adverts that they see. So please be guided. You don't always need to see the effect of bad things before you abstain from it. But if you want to experiment, know that the end is deadly. Let me take this other comment. It says, good evening, Pastor and Mom, and thanks for today's submission. Indeed, I'm enlightened. Please, my question is, a brother who is seriously addicted and does not listen to any advice, what should I do to free him from that addiction? And this is from Prince from Sifi Asarinso. Prince, thank you. You're also a regular viewer. Thank you very much. Pastor, his question is, there's someone who is seriously addicted but does not listen to any advice.
Let's talk about that. But meanwhile, the few things that I can see today is that the person can go to the net and check on Alcohol Anonymous. They have books, they have materials that they can supply to him. Then he will begin to read. And they will tell you that one thing you have to do is to drink a lot of water. Tell him just to drink a lot. Whenever he feels like drink alcohol, you should drink water. Number 2, you should stay away from the friends who have been taking him to the sports. You should stay away from them. And then you should also have faith in God. God is able to help anybody who wants to come out of it. And you should do a lot of exercise. These are some of the things that they have been saying will help people to come out of alcohol. It's not easy, but at least some people have come out of it. So if the person begins to try it, I think he can do something better for himself. But Alcohol Anonymous is there. When you go to the note, they have booze and things. They are alcoholics. I tell you, this is what we did, and we want you to come out of it because it will destroy your life.
So Prince, that's the response. To help your brother, please get more information on how to do that. And Pastor has suggested that go to the Alcohol Anonymous website. You would find some very useful guides on how to do that. But in the interim, or whilst you're doing that research, you can help by suggesting that he should take a lot of water. Also have patience for him, because as we have discussed on the show, the damage of alcohol on the brain may not allow him to reason with you. It even gets them into denial. They do not accept that they have a problem. So have patience with him and help him day by day to stay away from friends who take him drinking. And with God's help and prayer, I'm sure he will be able to come out of that addiction. There is hope. This is from Kweku Owusu in Akwetia. It says, thank you, Pastor, for your education. And then Bright Kwanzaa from Kumasi, Ejiso also says, I really love your teachings. May God Almighty bless you all. So thank you, Bright, for sending in your comments. Okay. Now, we've looked at the effects of alcohol on the intestines and even spoke about the fact that you would become malnourished.
Yes, malnourished.
And other effects would be anemia and all other things. Now, some people would say that, oh, there's a lot of calories in alcohol. So if I will eat banku and get calories, a bowl of banku, and I take a bottle of beer and get the same, are they not the same nutritionally?
Banku will give you calories and something else. But alcohol will give you empty calories. You will drink 2 jiggers of 100 proof whiskey. You have 250 calories. 2 glasses of wine contain 280 calories. But they are all empty calories, providing none of the nutrients the body requires. So you just get empty calories that will, in the long run, give you fat in the heart, in certain places that you don't expect it to be there. But the nutrients that you need, the vitamins, the thiamine, the whatever, it's not from alcohol. You won't get it. So your body that needs those nutrients to survive will not have it. So alcohol gives us empty calories, nothing more, nothing less. The calories are big, but you don't get any nutrients from it.
So it's just like filling your stomach when you are hungry, but not getting any nutrients out of it. Because 90 work.
Yes. So. And the body needs all kinds of things. Iron to repair for the blood, this and that. Green leaves will give you something else. But alcohol will not give you anything. Just you fill your body with empty calories, so much of it, and your body will be deficient of the nutrients that it needs.
Well, our time is almost up, but if you just joined us, or if you joined us midway, we have been discussing the effect of alcohol on vital organs of the body. The argument is that Jesus was a drinker. He drank wine, not just fresh wine, but intoxicating wine, fermented wine, alcohol for that matter. Last week, a viewer suggested that Jesus was a drunkard. But we looked at the effects of alcohol on the human body, on the brain, the heart, the lungs, the reproductive system, the liver, the immune system, the pancreas, the small intestine, the sex glands, your blood, bone tissue, hands and feet. And as Solomon said, the conclusion of the matter is that all these parts are negatively impacted by your use of alcohol. And remember, God says if you destroy this beautiful body he has given you, he would also destroy
Please let's read it. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, 16 to 18. It is in the Bible.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, 16 to 18 says, do you not know that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwells in you? If anyone defiles the temple of God, God will destroy him. For the temple of God is holy, which temple you are. Let no one deceive you. If anyone among you seem to be wise in this age, let him be a fool that he may become wise.
So God has made it clear. Meanwhile, alcohol destroying your brain cells, destroying your pancreas, destroying your intestine. So God will not do anything to you. He will punish you.
Says he will destroy you. His temple is holy. And linking holy to the new wine, we also learned today that that reference was in relation to that which is clean and not filthy, that would destroy the body temple. We have repeatedly said on this show, it starts with just a bottle until you graduate into an addict. But there is hope. If you are an addict, there's hope. God can help you. As we bring the discussion to a close, Pastor would give us his final comments on why, if you haven't started, don't go near. He says, don't look at wine when it is red in the bottle, because it would bite like a snake.
People say that the Roman Empire used the sword to conquer the whole world. It was alcohol, and this is that is where the empire, alcohol, living in debauchery. So if alcohol and gluttony and all those things could destroy one empire, it means it can destroy you too. Alcohol has never done any good thing to anybody in any age. And you remember Belshazzar, he was drinking. Enemies were coming there, but he didn't care. And he came and cut off his head in Daniel chapter 5. So if we look at all this that have happened in the past, alcohol will never serve anybody right. So let us accept the biblical injunction to stay away from alcohol, because when you look at it, at the final analysis, it will bite you like a serpent. So let's stay away from alcohol. Nobody should allow anybody to deceive you. Alcohol is a very dangerous, number one, poison.
Was Jesus a drunkard?
No way.
So that's the response for you. Jesus was not a drunkard. He was clean, he was sane, he had his mental capacities intact. And it's the same he wants for you, that you will live a clean life, respectful life, filled with dignity and value. As I said, if you are addicted, there is hope. Don't give up. Keep taking the steps that would keep you away from being destroyed by alcohol. Until we meet again next week, Watch These Signs seeks to help you to stay safe and sound. If you drink alcohol, your body's capacity to withstand disease is impaired. So it means that we can't have you around long enough to keep enjoying the show, because coronavirus is still around. And it goes for people who have underlying conditions. Today we've learned about how alcohol can give you all those underlying conditions of diabetes, hypertension, and heart problems. So stay safe and keep praying for God's grace. Have a good evening and see you again next week. Bye-bye.